Right, hey folks, welcome back to WarThunder. So, yesterday, or the day before yesterday I should say, in fact, saying that at all is irrelevant because this video isn't going to go up as I'm recording it, it's going to be like a few days from now, but anyway. So, the Conqueror video that I put up, on Reddit I had a few people, I wouldn't say moaning, but there was quite a lively discussion about whether this event is actually balanced, because I argued that the Conqueror is perfectly balanced, but a lot of people brought up the Stabiliser, which I didn't mention because, I mean, I guess I just got used to having it, and I know that the other tanks that you face don't have one, but to me, APHE and the Stabiliser are kind of like just two different sides of the same coin. You can have one or the other. APHE means you can kill in one shot. Having a Stabiliser means that you can fire first, but your kill chance is less. So to me, they cancel each other out, but a lot of people were saying otherwise. And then that led on to a debate about whether the Centurion, even though the video is on the Conqueror, but anyway, I guess the Centurion and the T-54 are more matchable equals because they're medium tanks and not heavies. Even though the T-54 is, it's well on its way to being heavy. But anyway, and people were saying that the Centurion's better, blah 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 blah. Well, I've been playing the T-54 all afternoon because I don't think that the Centurion is better. I do actually stand by the claim that this event is balanced. I think the Centurion as a medium and the T-54 as a medium cancel each other out pretty damn well. But people were saying that, if they were both in open ground, then the Centurion would win hands down, blah blah blah, and it, yeah, alright, I'll give you that. But you don't fight tank battles like that, do you? You don't have a fair fight. Fair fights are for suckers. You want to twist it in your favour as much as you possibly can. And whilst the Centurion might win in open ground or on the move, if you're playing the T-54 correctly, then you will abuse the terrain to stay hidden, and you'll close in to get the shot because your ballistics aren't as good. Blah blah, it's better in some ways and worse in others. But at least you only have to hit them once to kill them. And you can still angle. Can I get this? Where did that go? Is he gonna go for the... trying to bait him into shooting? What is he doing? Shit, well I got him as well. So as you can see, fair enough, innit? I'd say that was fairly balanced engagement. Ooh, I'm surprised he got that pan. Usually my fuel tank eats it for me. But yeah, I've been playing this event all afternoon and I haven't lost a game yet as the Russians. I actually started winning as Russians so much that I was like, how the hell was it? How was the opposite occurring when I was playing the Conqueror the other day? So I hopped back into the Conqueror and I was winning then as well. So I don't want to say that it's me that's the difference, but clearly the event is balanced because whichever side that I play seems to win, and if it weren't balanced, then it could flip-flop either way, couldn't it? Like if Russia was better, then I would lose when I played NATO, and if NATO were better, then I'd lose playing as Russia. But I'm winning on both teams, so it's, to me, that's balance. Really? But yeah, I guess let's just keep lives coming. So maybe we'll lose this game just because I'm recording it. That'd be pretty typical of my luck. But yeah, so my argument was that if you played the T-54 like you played a Centurion, then yes, it would be terrible. Because having different benefits or weaknesses means that you have to play the tanks differently, but T-54s have a high one-shot potential with that gun. They have much better armour, they're quicker, but they don't have the Stabiliser, and they can't engage at range as effectively, so you have to pretend that you've got a shotgun and the Centurion has a rifle. You have to close in, you have to use... Oh, that was a dirty spot. Anyway, you have to close in, you have to use terrain to your advantage and hide. You have to have a good idea of where they're going to be. So my failing there was that I pushed into the open too much and just hoped that the guys that I killed over there, because that's the area that I just cleared in the last life, wouldn't have anyone in it again yet. But clearly they spawned in and got there quickly, but the point still stands. I'll have to wait and see if we win that game or not. I'll probably forget to update the footage or the video as well, but let's just have a look. Oh, we lost that one. Lost that one. Lost one's Britain. Win-win. Loss. So maybe it's not as clear-cut as I made out, but as you can see, there's wins and losses in fairly equal measure. To me, the event is balanced. T-54s and Centurions, I think, are a decent match for each other. Obviously, if you're going to sit head-on in an open field, then the Centurion would probably win, because it's easier to aim the gun at range. That's about it, really. I think that if you play them to their strength, like with Centurions, you're more likely to skirt the high ground and look into areas that are open for people that aren't playing the T-54 correctly, because that's the strength of the Centurion. That's the situation where it would win. The T-54 is more of an urban brawly tank that uses its speed and armour to get around tighter spaces and surprise people, get in close, kill in one shot, get out. I think it's easier to juggle multiple opponents with the T-54 than it is in the Centurion, because you're more likely to kill in a single shot, and you can get in and out of situations quicker because of its mobility. But I don't know, to me, I just think they balance out pretty much perfectly, to be honest. I mean, the Centurion has a first shot on target advantage if people get good at negative leading, because shooting on the move isn't as simple as just pointing and clicking, and with parallax in Sim, and the fact that APDS is quite inconsistent in its post-pen damage, and pen as well, to be fair, I don't know how else to say it, but the way that things add up, I think that they're pretty balanced. So, take it or leave it if you want, but like in the same way the T-54 and the Centurion are balanced, I think that the IS-4 and the Conqueror are pretty balanced as well. Like in terms of armour, they're both incredibly difficult to pen from the front, apart from the lower plate weak spot. The IS-4's got the driver's hatch, and the Conqueror has the commander's hatch, which are both pretty small, pretty hard to hit. I don't know. To me, this event is where the balance is greatest in pretty much the entire game. And for that reason, it's one of the most enjoyable events to play, and that goes for being on either team. It's also good because you can queue and get a game pretty quickly on either team, which is rare because often it's one team that clubs the other on a quite consistent basis, unless people want to play the losing team. So, for me, this is like the sweet spot of the game. But yeah, I'll probably whack some other footage in the background over all this talky spiel, so that you're not just with me sat in the hangar after the battle results have finished. But and hopefully I'll get this video out before I leave tomorrow, because otherwise it'll be like weeks before it gets through. But thanks a lot for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Alright, so I considered leaving it there, but then I thought, nah, I've got some other footage to use. So just want to show you this bit, because it's this is the craziest instance of like friendly fire that I've ever seen. And then after this, there's an ace match on the same map but a different battle. which I'll do a post commentary and run you through because it was quite cool. But yeah, so I'm with this guy, but sort of like formationing with him, but in tanks on the ground, which I thought was pretty cool. This just total random teammate. Object 268 up in front, friendlies everywhere, following them through. I'm thinking, let's get a bit of a convoy going. If anything does pop up, then it's going to be completely fucked and we don't have to worry about anything. But then we get to about here, and I can hear an engine to my left. So I'm just waiting for them to peek the corner. Teammates have just left me, they're oblivious, they don't know what's going on, so I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm calling out my position and marking the map so that if it's a friendly they can be like, oh look, there's a friendly on the map there and they've just pinged me, and then they can say, oh okay, well it's a teammate. And then I see the breach of an IS-4, so I know it's a teammate. But the IS-4 then shoots me and miraculously doesn't kill me. He must have bounced off my engine deck and missed my turret rear or something, but I don't know what the fuck that was. But then I think that I'll peek, because he has a long reload, and I'll repair in the open, and then look at this guy. Like, what? If I had been an enemy, he'd have just given me a free kill, and then he shoots me when I didn't shoot him. Like, what? I genuinely lost for fucking words at the idiocy of these two guys. And then the IS-4, now reloaded, he's thinking about it, look. And then he's like, oh no, maybe he actually can read and looked at chat. Maybe he doesn't speak English, I don't know. But and then this poor guy, an actual enemy, of all the people, he could have shot one of those guys in the back, but he decides to shoot me in the face. But anyway, abrupt cut to the actual the battle that I mentioned. So I don't know whether I should cut this down. Might end up being quite long. I'm just gonna leave it. Fuck it. Right. Okay. So T-54, speedy, flanky, sneaky, one-shot killing machine. The way that because you don't have a stabiliser, it's very important that you get to a position to sit in ambush before the enemy do. So you have to have a good idea of how quick the enemy team are, how much ground they can cover in what space of time, and how far you can therefore push before you encounter them. And in this instance, I actually get the balance slightly wrong, and they get to the C point before I do. But they come from the other side of the building, so here I'm just skirting my way in. I'm trying to turn as little as possible so that I don't lose any speed. And now that I'm here, I'm planning on sitting in this corner here behind this truck, because the more clutter there is around me, the harder it is for me to be seen, but then I accidentally ram into it anyway. Whoops. But like I said, they're already on the point before me. But I can hear the engine, he's right around this building, so I'm just going to wait for him to make the first move, because if he has a stabiliser, then he's got the advantage if I'm moving. But if he moves, then I don't lose anything from that. And I can sit here all day if it takes all day. So, ends up being an M41. No real threat to me. But we're still not capping the point, which tells me there's someone else in here. And then, I'm not sure how he screwed that up, but he did. I think he was using heat maybe and shot the... in fact no, because it's the Japanese one. I don't know. I don't know what he did, but he's dead. Two M41s out for the count, and we are now capping the point, so I'm just going to sit on the point and do that. I can hear some other tank near me. I don't want to risk it being an enemy and not facing it, so I turn the gun, but it ends up being the same mate. So we're all good. So there's now 3 T-54s on the point with me. And we're just going to systematically and methodically push our way towards their spawn to cut off the resupply. And immediately someone's back to try and get the point. T-54 there. He's not trying to hide, he's not in any cover, but he did just get set on fire, so I know that whoever shot him is now on that reload. Probably cutting it a bit fine here, but we get him. He puts his fire out, so he's all good. And we're going to push around. He now marks an enemy further down where the M48 came from, which is what I assumed anyway, so I'm going to push around here and go for a flank. At every intersection I'm going to look to my right and see if it's clear or not. He got him anyway, it was one of the M41s coming back. So now we're clear again. Oh no, another one. So, is he going to come back? No, so I mark it. Someone just died to my left, IS-4, I saw that. The guy I just marked was killed. Look to my left, IS-4's dead. One of those dodgy Swedish rocket things killed him. They terrify me. So I'm just going to slowly back up. I want to keep the armour facing wherever the IS-4 died. I'm expecting him to come from my front, but he's right there, look, behind that blue container. I haven't seen him yet. And now, like, I'm just panicking now. He hasn't seen me. It takes me so long for the MGs to converge, but I get him. Four kills. They're capping B, but we've already pushed past B. I've got a friendly there on my left. And then I just saw a trace across. I think that he has spawn protection on. I don't know. That looked pretty much spot on to me. It might have gone a little bit low. Earlier on in the first battle when I was live comsing it, I didn't mention, but I haven't played the T-54 before today in probably a year or more. So my knowledge of its speed and capability and how good it is at shooting at range and stuff, all that comes from fighting against them for like years in Centurions and whatever else. So if I actually played them more often, then I'd probably be even more competent in this thing because I'd be able to know what its ballistics were like and everything, and I wouldn't miss as many easy shots. So if me with basically no experience can manage to pull off stuff like this, then that just goes to show that the tanks, the Centurion and the T-54 are even better balanced than even I thought originally, and angle away. The armour on the T-54 for this battle actually, or this tier of semi-van, actually reminds me a lot of the Tiger 1, because it has enough side armour to side scrape quite well, and if you angle the front plate, then you can bounce even the 105 APDS. Friendly on my right finished him off, some nice teamwork there. So that's the ace. And then because my friendly didn't get shot, I think that I'm okay, so I'm kind of dawdling and covering his rear in case someone else peeks up ahead. And then... oh fuck. Yeah, so typical. Just got so unlucky there. Damn it, if I'd span like a second earlier, I'd have been angled enough to bounce that. Yeah, so, as I actually said at the time, I was covering my friendly's rear because I didn't want anything else to push up, but I don't know where the friendly was looking. I was hoping they'd have saved me if anything was to the right. But yeah, if I'd spanned literally like a second earlier, then, as I was saying before, the side armour on the T-54 is actually good enough to side scope, so I would have survived. That was just bad timing. But yeah, that's going to be it then for this video, folks. Last one. I'm going away to the girlfriend's for the rest of the quarantine after today, so I'll try and get this rendered out and uploaded in time before I go, otherwise it'll have to be after I get back. So if you're watching this and thinking, well, the lockdown's over now, then you know why, because I didn't get it done in time. But yeah, Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Make sure you stay safe during the rest of the lockdown. Hopefully we'll be able to put all this COVID-19 bollocks behind us before too long. But thanks a lot for supporting the channel. We've been seeing some good growth lately. And I will see you in the next one. So, cheers. Bye.